IPMNation.com.
Hi, this is Ryan Ordway.
And this is Franz Haase.
And you're listening to Local Outbreak
on IPM Nation and 100.1 The Planet.
Local Outbreak on IPM Nation and 100.1 The Planet. This is Matt from IPM Nation. We're here at the studio, as we are every week, at 50 Canal Street in downtown Laconia. Come down and say hello to Melissa. She'd love to see it. Of course, you can check it out online. TheStudioNH.com is the website. Also, we're sponsored by Central NH Events. If you need a DJ for your event, you can go to CentralNHEvents.com. You can hire Mr. Tim Martin. Also, there's Tweak Sound and Mastering, Mr. Matt Marcil in Concord, New Hampshire. You can check him out at tweaksound.com. And Sonic Wallpaper, who's been doing a lot of great work locally, Ryan LeMay and his organization, helping to provide music lessons for people who wouldn't otherwise be able to afford them. And we've had him on quite a few times recently. And we have joining us tonight, we have Ryan Ordway and Franz. I'm going to let you say your last name.
Franz Haase.
Okay, because I don't want to mess it up. And these gentlemen, well, one of these guys I know really well from years ago. Ryan was in a band called Bloom.
Yep.
And I booked a bunch of shows for you guys. And we were trying to figure out the other night just how long ago that was. It's like 13 years, I think.
Yeah, it's got to be like 13. I think, yeah. Early 2000s, right?
Yeah.
Wait, so it's early 2000s.
That's
2002, 2001?
Maybe 2003? Maybe.
I think we're dating ourselves.
I think you're right. I think it was 2002. Yeah.
I think it was like 2002 because I remember Todd started getting ill around 2003. Yeah. It was this was definitely 2001 or 2000 because Todd ended up moving back to Buffalo, I think, in 2003.
Okay. And
he was there for like 2 years before he ultimately.
Oh wow.
Passed on.
Okay.
Yeah, time's flying.
Yeah. So we and next week on the show we're going to play your live performance the other night at Inspire Music.
Yep.
Zach DeFosse's thing, which is really cool. They're doing a lot of great things in Franklin.
Yeah.
And you guys together, you're partners in the what is it called exactly?
It's called we have a couple businesses, things going on. But recording studio is called
Recording Co-op.
Recording Co-op, okay.
Yep. And then we also have a reality show called A Day in This Life.
Yeah.
And that is, it's in production right now.
Cool.
And as soon as we finish the season, we will be sending it off either to, we're talking with networks and maybe like a Netflix or we're going to also investigate like, Amazon Prime and those kind of outlets.
Oh, fantastic.
But,
do you have, for something like that, I mean, do you have an agency that you're working with on that to shop it around, or is it all DIY at this point, or?
It's been, well, to do the show, we've partnered up with No Silence Media.
Okay.
And now they're partners with us on the show. We've two businesses come together.
Oh, okay.
We've invested our time into this project. We do have another guy that's part of the show that has pitched it off to a couple people that agencies he's worked with in the past that have worked on many other really well-known reality series.
Okay.
And then, so a lot of it's we're doing it ourselves, but we have like a real, production crew.
Yeah.
It's not us in our flip phones,
Right, yeah. It's the real thing. Wow, that's great. Good for you guys.
Real deal.
Yeah, fantastic. Well, let's why don't we play something, and then of course you have no shortage of music with what you. I got the impression that you write a lot of tunes.
Yeah.
The other night, it sounds like because you come up with stuff right on the spot.
Yeah.
People will get to hear that next week, but
it's a little like. Sometimes, in playing gigs and all that stuff, sometimes you have a long gig or something, and you have to just come up with something.
Yeah.
It's just evolved from, or just sitting around the campfires where it's really started,
Right.
A few chords, and everyone's kind of hanging out, having a little fun, and next thing you know, I'm writing songs and making up songs about the fire or sitting around.
Yeah.
Been writing for many years.
Well, let's play something. What do you want to start the show with?
Yeah, you should check out. This is a new track that this has got a cool story. It's a track called Easy Street.
Okay.
And about just a little over a year and a half ago, I was selected to go down to Nashville and spent 6 days down there with Ken Scott, who produced, was a very famous producer. He worked with, did the White Album with the Beatles.
Oh,
and
wow.
4 David Bowie records.
Oh, no
And, I mean,
kidding.
his list is long.
Yeah,
Elton
yeah.
John, Pink Floyd, early days with Sid Barrett. And so anyways, I went down to Blackbird Studios and spent 6 days with Ken Scott, which is Martina McBride's studio.
Okay.
And her husband, John. Great
Yeah.
people.
Wow.
And this is a track we cut down there.
Oh,
And,
fantastic.
it's in their famous room, the D room. That's where Kings of Leon did the whole Sex on Fire album in that room.
Okay.
White Stripes. I mean, a lot of amazing albums. So, yeah.
Has this been played on the radio before?
Nope, you're going to be one of the first people to play it.
So this is a world premiere.
Yeah, we've been...
We like the world premieres here on Local Outbreak.
I've been sitting on this stuff because we've been building our new studio.
Yeah.
And you got to wait to release it right.
Sure.
So
And it's called Easy Street?
Easy Street.
And you just release it on your own name, just Ryan Ordway?
Yeah, well,
Okay.
Ryan Ordway, or maybe Ordway, just because there's so many Ryans out there,
That's true.
So I'm kind of like in this area now.
He's still trying to decide which way
but
to go
most
with that?
likely I'm going to go under the band name Ordway.
Just Ordway, yeah.
Get tied up with Ryan Adams, Ryan Cabrera, Ryan this, Ryan that. There's a lot of Ryans.
Good point. All right, cool. So we'll take a listen to this. So this is Easy Street from Ordway here on the world premiere here on Local Outbreak on IPM Nation and 100.1 The Planet.
I'm tired of tripping on a flip-flop, falling on the stovetop, drinking to the last drop. I'm down, I'm on the ground. I've got weeds in my face again, cords wrapped around my shin, barking at the other end. I'm down, I'm on the ground. We all dream on Easy Street. We all won't get back. Feast your eyes on Easy Street. All your problems are gone. There I am with dinner on my face again, wine running down my chin. Got to take my medicine. I'm down, I'm on the ground. Rewind, I missed the phone call. Write the message on the wall. Sleeping in the bathroom stall for no reason at all. We all dream on Easy Street. We all won't get back. Feast your eyes on Easy Street. All your problems are gone. When we land on Easy Street, we'll be twirling hand in hand. It don't matter 'cause it's Easy Street. We got castles made of sand. Castles made of sand. We all dream on Easy
IPMNation.com.
Local Outbreak on IPM Nation and 100.1 The Planet. This is Matt from IPM Nation. We're here at the studio tonight. We have Ryan Ordway and Franz, whose last name I'm afraid to mess up. And what he said. I don't know why. I have a mental block with it.
This is what you got to think of. Think of like horse, but say it like you're in northern Maine. Haase.
Haase. Haase.
Or like how that might be one way to.
It's hard to do. I'm from New England. I should be able to do it, but it's Haase. Got to ride the Haase to the barber.
There you go.
Haase.
Get a haircut.
I just got one.
Oh, good for you.
The Haase. Yeah, that's almost like that's sort of like if you're saying horse and said Haase. Does that mean? Or would that be like? Would that be like a Maine accent?
Yeah.
By golly, go get the Haase.
Yeah.
That might be more
Haase.
Haase.
Franz is thinking, yeah, I think we've spent enough time on my name. So I want to hear more about the studio. So you guys are partners in the studio?
Right, yep.
And how long is I've been hearing about it for a while, but because Melissa's been mentioning it. Do you guys know Melissa prior to this, or what is the connection?
I heard about the studio when they did the article in the Sun.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Right. On Facebook.
And that's how we hooked.
Liked you. Or
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So how long has it been open?
Well, the studio's been open for about 6 years, but we've been here for 2 years. Yeah, we had a store in Wolfboro called the Folk Cellar. And we had a small recording studio there right on Main Street called Resort Recordings.
Okay.
And we closed the music store a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
And sold that property and then moved over into the barn at Ryan's place. So we've been in Guilford just about 2 years.
Yeah, just about, yeah.
Just about 2 years, yeah.
And that's how I met Franz. I just had moved back from Boston.
Oh, okay.
I was down in Boston for some years, just touring and playing music. And
yeah.
I was either going to go to L.A. or back to New Hampshire, and I just decided to move up to New Hampshire and build a studio, a place to record, and that's when I ran into Franz, and he was just retired from getting retirement and wanted to start a music store, and that's how we crossed paths.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So what now? After Bloom ended, what did you do? What was your next move after that?
That's when I moved down to the Boston area.
Okay.
And then
so you must have been in Boston for quite a while then.
Yeah, probably like 7 years.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah. So I was down in Boston, and I started a band. Actually, started a band called Ordway.
Okay.
And I was in that for almost 5 years. And we had a good little run at it. You know?
That was also the name of the Bloom disc, if I remember correctly.
Yes.
Right?
So that's a funny story. So the first Bloom disc was called Ordway, which was Todd's idea.
Okay.
To call the disc, and then we were trying to find a band name for the new band.
Yeah.
After Todd had moved back to Buffalo.
Yeah.
And the guys in the band called me up one day and they said, "Hey, we got an idea for the band title." And the keyboard player, Paul, remember Paul, the keyboard player?
Yeah.
He used to play. His dad came up with an idea, and they called me in. They said, "Ryan," and I was like, "What is going on here?" They're like, "Well, we have an idea for the band name, but we're not sure if you're going to like it." And I was like, "What is it?" They're like, "Let's call the band Ordway." And I'm like, "Sure."
Yeah.
This is. But I remember walking into it being like, "What is so important here?" They were kind of coming at it like I would have been like, I don't know, thrown off or something.
Right.
But anyways, so that's how that happened. It wasn't me being like, "Hey, everything I do has to have my name on it."
Right. So was it the same guys just without Todd, or what?
Well, it was for the most part. It started off that way, and then it evolved to be not.
Yeah.
But it was the same bass player, same keyboard player.
Okay.
Then Paul, the keyboard player, he moved on to different things, and we got a different drummer.
Okay.
And then it evolved into its own thing, and we went out and did it.
I was thinking about the bass. I forget his name.
Matt.
He because I was thinking back. I was thinking about it today. Actually, I was remembering when you guys would open the show in Bloom. You would play. You would open with Billie Jean, and he would sing it, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
And then Todd would come up and start on the second song. What was the reason for that anyway? Was it kind of a warm up thing?
I think it's typically Todd was like trying out back getting his vocals warmed up or something.
Yeah.
And it's also probably a good way to kind of get the band. Maybe I think usually Todd would go out front and see how it sounded too. It depends on what we're playing.
Yeah. Okay.
You kind of walk around and make sure that everyone's volume was good.
Yeah.
And you come up on stage or if it was one of those gigs where we're doing our own sound,
Right.
But yeah, I guess that's right. I forgot we used to do that track.
Yeah.
That was back before Alien Ant Farm did the cover.
Yes.
Then once they...
Well, because they did Smooth Criminal, Alien
Right.
Ant Farm, but you guys did Billie Jean, if I
Right.
remember correctly.
But I remember at that time, you never really heard bands cover Michael Jackson.
Yeah,
At least
yeah.
I never did.
Well, it was a surprise. The first time I heard you guys play it, I was like, oh, that's cool. That's interesting.
Yeah, for that time, you never
Yeah.
heard many bands do it.
Yeah.
At least, around here.
Yeah, definitely.
And,
So now how long did Ordway last?
it was about 5 years.
Yeah.
And we were doing some like neat was the NACA showcase. We did that.
Yeah.
And we had a good run at it. We ended up winning a contest for ourstage.com.
Oh, okay.
We won that, the first one ever.
Oh,
And
no kidding.
We won like $5,000 and from them, and then we were written up in like 250 different publications.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and then we went off on like almost a 7.5 week national tour.
Really?
California. Yeah,
Wow.
did a bunch of shows and actually, so we just released a new record. We went off, did that tour, and we were out in San Diego, and we got a call that we were on the short list to play Bonnaroo that year.
Oh, no
and
kidding.
a band from New York ended up getting it, but we were like in California. We're like, what do
Yeah.
we do if we get picked to play Bonnaroo? We're gonna have to dog the rest of this tour and just go
Yeah.
right to Bonnaroo.
Yeah.
And anyways, they kind of made it easier on us in the sense that they picked the band from New York, but it was between
Right.
us and another band.
Wow.
So that would have been amazing to do. But
Yeah.
no, we had a great tour, and this was towards the fifth year of the band Ordway.
Yeah.
And the last show we played was at the bitter end.
Oh,
on
no
that
kidding.
Tour. We went and did the full tour and came back and played the bitter end, and then
Yeah.
the band broke up. Everyone just
Yeah.
went their own ways, and it run its cycle. But
Right.
yeah, and then after that, I just kind of kicked around Boston for a year or so, and then I moved up this way.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
And now have you been doing the solo thing ever since? I know these days you were saying the other night you don't even get to play that much because you're so busy with everything else. But
yeah, I mean, I haven't really toured avidly or much since 2007 and 8.
Yeah.
And I recorded after Ordway broke up. I said to myself, that's it, I'm gonna be my own singer. So I kind of just spent a little time focusing on getting my breath control together.
yeah.
And then I went into Q Division in Somerville and recorded my first solo EP
Q
down
Division,
there.
yep.
Yeah, and I cut that. And actually, to this date, I've never printed it and put it out. But once I recorded it, it was a 5-song EP. Went in, we cut it in 4 days.
Yeah.
Done. Tracked it with a band. You remember the band Missing Joe from Boston?
Yes, I do actually. Yep.
Yeah, they were a cool band.
Yeah.
They had a big run. They had a good run. They were like selling out like the Paradise and stuff in their day, or at least they were. All the guys from that band backed me.
Oh, no
So
kidding.
it was like myself and this band called Missing Joe.
Yeah.
And we cut it in 4 days and sent it out to L.A. My Uncle Danny mixed it out there.
Yeah.
And then like a month or so later, I signed a publishing deal with a company out in L.A. and they started sprinkling my songs into TV shows and stuff.
Oh, wow.
So I got some good placements.
No
and-
kidding.
Yeah, and
That's
so,
fantastic. Wow.
So I did that, and then I had met Franz a little bit after that.
Yeah.
Maybe a year or so after that, and we started the Folk Cellar, and I recorded another little 7-song between the EP and an album.
Okay.
Printed probably like 100, 200 of those, but
Yeah.
just haven't had time to really be an artist going out. And I have a daughter, as you know. So,
Right. Yes.
So now she's like 5.5, 6, and
Yeah.
planning on really starting to get to the point now where you can't tell a 2-month-old, hey, I'll see you in 3 weeks.
Right. That's true. Yeah.
They wake up every day like,
Right. Wow. So, it was called the Folk Cellar,
Yes.
Yep.
and that was where was that? Wolfboro, you said? Okay.
Yeah, downtown Wolfboro, yeah.
So, what led to? So that's where you guys met in Wolfboro?
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, because I was opening a studio with the store.
Okay.
And I think I saw... Yeah, I think you had an ad for guitar lessons. And I pulled one off because Barbara Hughes had told me that you wanted to open a studio.
yeah.
So I called him
Yeah.
and said, hey, I'm thinking of opening a studio too.
Right.
And he was going to open a studio in his mom's barn.
Yeah.
And I was going to open one on Main Street. So we got together and decided to open it on Main Street. And The store, had its run, but retail in the music business is pretty tough.
It's hard, yeah.
But it was a good stepping stone for us, everything we were doing.
Yeah.
I made a lot of good contacts, and so we closed the store and then just moved over here and built a studio here and been up and running. We also have a nonprofit.
Really?
Which we started that in Wolfboro. It's called the Wolfboro Institute of the Arts, but that's a big part of what we do now also is the nonprofit.
Okay.
It's our vision to use that nonprofit to share and change the world with music. Mm-hmm. And we're actually exploring right now getting a downtown institute here in Laconia.
Really?
And we've started opening the initial of that, So.
That's fantastic.
So like Ryan said, there's a lot more to it than just, there's a lot of, like Ryan says, a lot of layers to the onion.
Yeah.
But they all do tie, and we do have an overall vision of what we want to do.
Yeah.
And so it's been.
Yeah, we just we just started looking into checking out some buildings, and we're gonna go after and see if we can get the community behind it, and we're gonna document the whole process of building this institute with our reality show.
Yeah.
So capture all that, and so it'll be kind of really cool for people to see how it all happens and like behind the scenes of like figuring out how you're going to get the gears working together.
Right.
But the Institute's going to feature filmmaking, audio engineering, songwriting, and performance.
Okay. And
then we want to have other other little artist share spaces that fine art people can go into. And whatever, So, and then we want to build a professional, nice recording studio with a bunch of labs. Audio labs, video labs, then a green screen and all that to go on.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah, like a full-on little institute here. We think that Laconia is a prime spot to, we think it will be a thing that will really start to draw people downtown and help rejuvenate this. This reminds me like a little bit of a little Dover or Portsmouth.
Right.
Just needs a little kick in the. Kick it up.
I agree.
I
agree. Yeah. I think that's fantastic. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a cool little town.
Well, let's play another song and then we'll come back and chat some more. What do you want to do next?
Well, what do you think? You want to play one of your tunes, Franz?
Yeah. Why don't we do the Dash?
The Dash.
Yeah, well, that'll make us mix it. Since it's not mixed yet, so it's all ready to go. It's called the Dash.
Okay.
Yeah, and
Dash between.
And is this you as a solo artist, or do you play with a band?
No, the band with Ryan and the band.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. This is going to be Franz's debut album. That's taken him how many years?
About 62 years.
Sure. Well, better late than never.
Still a work in progress.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't want to rush into these things.
Hey, like I say, you want it done quick or you want it done right.
That's right. Exactly. Right. Exactly.
Yeah. What is it? I think we beat Guns N' Roses on this one.
Yeah.
There you go.
Was it 10 years for 12 years?
At least. Yeah. It might have been. Before, I think it was longer than 10 years.
Yeah.
Wait, did it end up even coming out?
Chinese Democracy.
Yeah.
It kind of flopped because by the time it came out, nobody cared.
Nobody wanted to hear it. It's too late.
The greatest thing about that was, but they ended up not going through with it. I don't know if you guys heard this story. The Offspring was going to just to troll them because it had been so long, and Axl still hadn't put out Chinese Democracy. So the Offspring were going to release an album called Chinese Democracy, which would have been hilarious. And then I guess they were threatened by Axl's legal team.
Oh, man.
Even though lots of albums have the same title as other albums, I don't think you can copyright the name of an album, but somehow they scared the Offspring off from doing it. But I think that would have been funny.
They scared the Offspring off.
That would have been really funny if they had released that. If they had released Chinese Democracy before Guns N' Roses did.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think they could trademark that one.
No.
I'm sure China has that one marked down.
Yeah, exactly. But all right, so we'll go ahead and play this. This is The Dash, and then we'll come back and chat some more with these guys here on Local Outbreak on IPM Nation and 100.1 The Planet.
Everyone has a day. They will so saddle up for the ride.
You wake up in the morning and you try to survive. Work your life away, then you realize no matter what you do, no matter what you try, nobody here gets out alive.
The dates mean nothing, the dates mean nothing. Time to let yourself go. It's a choice that you've been given.
Don't sacrifice your life, try to make a living. No matter what you do, no matter what you try, nobody here's getting out alive.
Oh, the dates mean nothing. It's the dash between. Oh, the dates mean nothing. It's the dash between. Oh, the dates mean nothing, nothing. It's the dash between. Oh, the dash between is long. Dash between is short. As long as you carry on, don't cause no pain or hurt. Dash between, dash between. It's the dash between. Oh, yeah. It's the dash between. Dash between. Dash between. Oh, yeah.
IPMNation.com.
Local Outbreak on IPM Nation and 100.1 The Planet. This is Matt from IPM Nation. We're here at the studio at 50 Canal Street in downtown Laconia. Funky little gift shop and art gallery, as Melissa likes to describe it. And there's always new stuff up on the walls, actually. I'm not a visual artist myself, so I don't get it, but apparently it's some pretty cool stuff. I don't know if you guys, I don't know.
Yeah,
if,
no, there is some cool stuff.
To me, I'm just confused by it. But but that's me. I'm just not very cultured that way. I'm from New Hampshire. What can I tell you? No, I'm kidding. But so we're talking tonight with Ryan Ordway and Haase. I'm trying to say horse without the R.
Franz Haase.
What did I say?
Hans. That's my brother.
I said Hans. Oh, your
that's
brother
my
Hans.
brother.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, my other brother.
Yeah, my other brother Hans, too, yeah.
See, I'm all confused. I'm just not meant to speak your name, clearly.
I kind of like the spilt coffee thing or
Yeah.
something up there. That's kind of interesting.
Oh, that one?
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, that is interesting.
It says the Tea Party.
Oh,
okay.
Yeah.
A tea party gone wrong, apparently.
Yeah, right.
Well, yeah, the Tea Party did, didn't it?
Talking about the art here on the wall.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't get it. So, tell me about, I want to hear more about this reality show. Why did you guys decide to take this on? This is a big deal.
Well, because we're a little troubled over here now. No, actually, the way it started was, just being in the recording studio where like this goofy things would happen and really interesting stuff would happen, and then there'd be the moments where like, oh, I wish we would have caught that on film, like whether it was goofy and interesting at the same time, or just complete, foolish, and so at first we were like, hey, let's just do like a little YouTube series of the making of a particular song here, like that, and it kind of evolved from that.
Yeah, it really did.
And then we realized we started sniffing around to try and find some filmmakers. Yeah, and we ran into Dakota and Andreas of No Silence Media, and it just it kind of, how did it happen? We just said,
I think. Well, we just decided to do it. I mean, we just said, well, let's do it. And then we put it on Craigslist? How did Dakota?
No, I found them on. I found them on. They were advertising on Craigslist.
On Craigslist, yeah.
Where are they from? Are they from?
They're from Amherst.
They're from Amherst.
Yeah, we should do it. We should do a little shout out with them sometime.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll get them to come up. And
that definitely, yeah.
But yeah, so we decided that we would pitch it to them, because, it's a lot of money to make.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a lot of money to make a music video, never mind.
Oh, yeah.
Never mind 20-minute episode, half-an-hour episodes.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
You're talking
Absolutely.
a lot of cha-ching. And so they came up and met with us, and after hanging out with us, they said, hey, I think you guys are some real characters.
Yeah.
We want to follow you around and see what you do.
Yeah.
And that's how it happened. But the mantra of the show, though, is, all kidding aside, is music for a purpose.
Yeah.
And that's really what the show is about. It's about us finding artists that have life struggles and giving them an opportunity to come into the recording studio. Our first episode's a guy named Alan, actually lives right
around the corner.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah, a really great guy. And he'd been following our recording studio in Wolfboro, and he friend requested me, and then he saw we were moving to Guilford, and he kept writing. And he's in it, like Todd. He has diabetes and has trouble with his sight as well.
Oh, wow.
And so it was one of these things that when we started saying, it's like we live in a world of me. Everyone's like, look at me on Facebook and look at me, and we're like, well. And then with my daughter with alopecia, we're like, what are we going to do with our music besides just say, hey, look at me? It's like, attention. It's just that world we live in, and it just makes sense. It's just kind of one of these. It's a really organic thing.
Yeah.
Like, well, let's find people and use our music to raise awareness, to bring attention to things, and see what we can do.
Yeah.
And that was really how it happened. And then, and then the guys showed up. We last summer.
Yeah.
Spent 4 days with us, following us around everywhere.
Yeah.
And that's when we were shot the pilot.
Yeah.
And we got enough in the can now for about 3 episodes.
Yeah.
And then we just did another shoot here, like in January. And we had, so that's really how it happened, And But have you had a chance to check it out yet?
No.
I'll send you over a link.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
We've released we released the pilot and the first episode on YouTube.
Oh, okay.
It's kind of like just to get it out there.
Okay.
But we're kind of pulling it back now. We're only going to be releasing teasers for the rest of the season because we can't give away the whole season and then also license it to
Right.
Yeah. So
what was it like? You said for 4 days you had them following you around. I mean, what was that like? Was that strange? I know, like me personally, like I would have a hard time with that. I'm kind of a solitary person. I would lose after a while. I'm a patient person, but I'm also kind of after a while. I think I'd be like losing my mind, just like just having people following me around. No,
I think that first thing these two, they're young kids. They're really young, but they're very talented, very committed to what they do, very professional in what they do. And they were, I mean, they're there, but you don't know they're there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It really, it's the same. You something in a song. You don't know it's there until you take it away.
Right.
And they were very good about. I don't think it's for our customers because they were filling some of our customers and everything.
Sure.
They fit right in.
So they weren't intrusive.
No,
they were
not at all.
Yeah.
very good at
very good at what they do.
But at first it was a little strange because the cameras show up and this is day one and we're like, what do we do? All right, we got like 15 grand in cameras kicking around and you're like, what are we supposed to just? And you just like you got to just do what you. And there's no script.
Right.
We had no plan, man. We had these cameras come in. They came in from California.
Yeah.
And they came in and all boxed up. And these guys, we rented some nice really nice cameras to do it.
Yeah.
Because we want to go for that real film kind of look to it. Like Dakota's and Andres, they're really big fans of Martin Scorsese.
Oh wow!
So we're going for like a more film look to the show.
Yeah.
But when they first showed up, we're like, now what do we do?
Yeah.
And then, but they had realized, like a month before this when we had the meeting, that they hung around with us and kind of saw how we were.
Yeah.
And they were even like, they confided in us after. They're like, we didn't know how this was going to go.
Right.
And then looking back on it, it was like, you get the footage and you're like, it worked out good.
Yeah.
I mean, everyone that's involved with the recording co-op are really good people and characters in their own right without having to try. But
that's good.
Yeah, there's no script, no setups, the TV shows you see on TV. Those are all like they're supposedly reality, but they're like, oh, that wasn't good enough. Let's do that again.
Yeah, right. Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Well, and in these contrived situations that are very sitcomish. No. I was I used to watch when I first started Gene Simmons' Family Jewels. My all-time favorite band is Kiss. Yeah. And I think I watched the first couple seasons, and then I was like, I feel like I'm just watching a sitcom. They're not even like I'm not watching real people, So
yeah.
But no, that's cool though. What you guys are doing, it's positive and it's that's really good.
It's enjoyable.
What do you know what the end game is with it as far as distribution? Because we live in this era where you have so many options now. There's so many different channels on cable. Plus, you don't even really need that. You can just distribute it online. There's all kinds of ways to do that, which you've kind of already done a little bit with YouTube. Yeah. But I mean, do you have kind of a goal in mind as far as where you want it to end up, or is that not that important? Part of it.
I think the ultimate home run that we're all kind of amongst everybody involved.
Yeah.
Would be like a Netflix original.
Yeah.
Would be the ultimate thing for us because then we can deliver the season the way we want it.
Right.
And if they get behind it and they put it out, I know you can get to Netflix in other various ways. Like you have to submit it, and it still has to go through screening. But we're confident that we would get through that.
Sure.
And then you can upload it. Then once that happens, then the agent takes a cut, and then it goes on to Netflix and gets put into their database, and then people can find it on there.
Yeah.
But the ultimate thing would be the Netflix original because then it would be marketed by them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And if it wasn't a Netflix original, you never know. It could still catch on.
Because,
Netflix is one of the ones that's really in our sights. We would go with a network as long as they would just take our season as it stands.
Right.
What we don't want to do is team up with a network and have Franz and I in a boxing match.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
Next thing you know, Franz stole my guitar picks. And
exactly right. That's what we don't want.
Yeah.
And we don't want to give up our creative element. I mean, we have although we never know what's going to happen because there's no script.
Yeah.
But there is an underlying theme on every episode about music for a purpose. I mean, this is entwined together. That's really the scripted part, as you will.
Yeah.
So, and we just want to take the gamble. We think what we're doing is good. We think it's marketable. And by the way, Andres and Dakota feel the same way we do about where we go with this thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so right now we're in the final stages of raising enough money to shoot the rest of the season.
Yeah.
Because the best thing for us is to get it all in the can.
Sure.
You know what I mean? And then go market it.
Right.
And that's why we sort of pulled it off from YouTube now, because we don't want to give up too much of what this is going to be. So
that's smart.
We hope to raise that money in the next month or so, and then we're scheduled, we've had opportunities to go to Nashville, San Diego. We've had a lot of opportunities. We've reached out to some major manufacturers in the audio industry, API and stuff, that would welcome us coming there and shooting. So that's about where we are now with it. And we feel confident we'll raise the money and we'll get it shot in the next couple of months. We'll have everything in the can.
Yeah, fantastic.
We get some not to give away the season or anything, but we get some prime people that are really significant in the music world.
Yeah.
That have invited us to their studios.
Oh, that's good.
And so what we're going to do is go visit those places and talk with them and about what music is for them and how they use music for a purpose, and you'll find that there's a lot of people that are very successful that do have a purpose either behind them or whatever that they represent. Often bands we all the biggest bands we all like, they'll usually have something they do. A lot of them do.
Right.
And so it'd be sort of like in the vein of it's based out of our recording studio, the Recording Co-op, but it's also us visiting other studios around the country.
Yeah, no, that's cool. Yeah,
and so it's so it'd be us kind of traveling around and
Yeah,
it's gonna be a trip.
Yeah, that's awesome. Good for you guys. Well, let's play another track. What do you guys want to play now?
This is a new song. It's called 1% Girl, and this is going to be coming out probably late spring, early summer.
Okay.
Off this record I'm working on right now. It's
so this is a world premiere?
This is going to be a world premiere, man. This is it, you know. I think you guys even have the unmastered version, which is even better, I guess.
Okay.
You know, people, for the audiophiles out there.
Yeah. I like stuff that's not. I like rough sounding recordings in general. To be honest with you, even if it's just not necessarily rough, but just unmastered. I like raw would be a better word. That's what I not rough, but raw. Yeah. I always have.
Yeah. Just like, you know, I'm really into that too as well. That's kind of like. That's like kind of like our production style at the studio.
Yeah.
I mean, we get into slick productions, but sometimes with artists and clients. But there's something about just getting the sounds right and less is more.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, right.
So this is called 1% Girl?
1% Girl.
And this is Ordway?
This is Ordway, yeah.
All right, very good. Take a listen. And we'll be right back on Local Outbreak on IPM Nation and 100.1 The Planet.
A lot in my life by girls, but I don't mind. The scars on my face read like a road map full of warning signs, warning signs. 99 out of 100 gonna break and make you wish you called in that day. I pay my dues, now everything is great. She my 1%. She not like the other girls. She my 1%. Makes me feel right down in the dumps again. She brightens up my world. She my 1% girl. I've been beat up a lot in my life by the world, the end of times. I like to touch the fence sometimes. 99 out of 100 gonna break and make you wish you called in that day. I pay my dues, now everything is great. She my 1%. She not like the other girls. She my 1%. Makes me feel right down in the dumps again. She brightens up my world. She my 1% girl. I learned my lesson. I really did. Hey, I really did. She my 1%. She not like the other girls. She my 1%. Makes me feel right down in the dumps again. She brightens up my world. She my 1% girl. She my 1% girl. She's my 1% girl. She's my 1% girl.
IPMNation.com.
Local Outbreak on IPM Nation and 100.1 The Planet. This is Matt from IPM Nation. We're here at the studio at 50 Canal Street in downtown Laconia. Please come by if you haven't been here before. I always say don't just support not just local music, but local businesses as well. Very, very important. And the two are sometimes one and the same. So please come down. And, of course, we've been talking tonight with Ryan Ordway and a gentleman whose name I can't seem to say. What's your name, sir?
Franz Haase.
See, when you say it, it just rolls off the tongue. It's like you've been saying it all your life.
72 years of experience.
See, that's you have an unfair advantage.
That's right, exactly.
You know, I just learned your name, or I attempted to learn your name today, and I've called you everything but your name.
I've been called worse.
Okay, good. And guys, very important. So, where should people go online to keep up with everything that you're doing? What are the relevant websites that we need to know about?
The main website that everybody should go to is a dayinthislife.com.
Okay.
And that's primarily our focus at this point.
Okay.
And then they can also, if you go there, that's where you can find links to our recording studio, the recording co-op.
Okay.
And that's the main two things.
Okay.
That and even as artists too as well. We have connect links from all those.
Okay, so adayinthelife.com.
A day in this life.
Oh, adayinthislife.com. I'm sorry. Okay.
If you go to adayinthelife.com, you'll probably
see a lot about the Beatles.
Some Beatles fan site. Yeah.
Don't Google it either. You'll still see the Beatles if you Google it right.
Yeah. Okay, adayinthlislife.com.
Day in this life. Yeah.
All right. And I'll remind everybody, too, that next week we're going to play some of your show from the other night at Inspire Music. And how'd you get connected with Zach?
It was like last summer. He reached out to me and saw what we were doing with the studio and heard some of my music and told me a bit about what he was doing, trying to working on getting his school together. At this point, I think he was still working on it. Yeah. And asked if I'd come out and help him out and support. And I said, "Oh, sure, I'll come on out and play." And that was kind of it. It
was cool, and your daughter duetted with you, and that was awesome. Yeah,
that was actually the first time she's ever sang with me in front of people.
Oh, no kidding. Yeah.
It seemed like she liked it when she did it.
Yeah. Well, it's a comfortable environment there, and
it was nice,
positive, and everything. So
it was kind of good because I haven't. It's funny. Like I was saying at the gig, it's like you play so much music during the week as far as like producing and in the studio, and then it comes Friday and I can't remember any songs.
Yeah.
So it was like, what am I going to play? I haven't, when you're gigging a lot, it's like, boom, boom. It's like when you're running or whatever. You're in tune, as far as like with what to play. But that was a fun little gig to get out and kind of get back out there.
And I have that song stuck in my head, that "Come and Get Your Berries, good."
Yeah.
So you get to hear that next week on the show if everybody tunes in.
Oh, geez, that's going to be...
You played that. I think you played it twice.
I think we had a reprise.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to start that children's record here at some point too.
Yeah,
it's on the list.
Yeah, you had mentioned that.
Speaking of live shows, we have a very big show we're working on right now.
Right, I was going to ask you about that. Yes.
Yeah. April 2nd. We're filming our reality show and having a live concert at the Flying Monkey.
Okay.
And we got a lot of really cool stuff going on that night. So people that want to come check it out, you're going to be a part of a reality show. Everybody that comes in, the film crew will not just be filming the stage, but there'll be like booths or some sort of setup where everybody can interact with the cameras and the crew if they want to, or get interviewed, and probably more talking about what music for a purpose stuff.
Music for a purpose.
Yeah. And we've also going to have we've got a silent auction we're doing as well.
Yeah.
And we got we've got a few timeshare trips.
It'll be auctioned off, and we're still gathering items for the auction, for the silent auction. And, and that'll be on April 2nd.
April 2nd. Okay.
April 2nd up at the Monkey. Yep.
And what time does that start?
6.
Doors are at 6, I think. Is it? The doors are at 6, and if they want, they can get a meal there. There's tables, and
they
get a meal, and the music is good. It's a good for those of you who haven't been to the Monkey. It's a real nice venue. I think they'll enjoy it.
Yeah, it's right around the corner from here.
Yeah, right up in Plymouth. Yeah, right.
Okay, very cool. Good. Wow, you guys got a lot going on. That's awesome. So, what do you want to play to wrap up the show tonight? We'll play one more track.
Geez, what should we play here? You want to play another one of your tracks, Franz? We have another world premiere.
Yeah.
Do Ruts in the Road, man.
Yeah, we'll do Ruts in the Road.
Ruts in the Road?
Ruts in the Road, yeah.
Okay.
Man, this is like a 1970s. But it's like being in a 1970s tractor trailer truck.
Right.
Really? Yeah.
Just picture, you know what I mean? Yeah.
And are both you guys on this?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, it's
cool.
Franz's song, but it's the guys that the house band is backing them on the song,
Gotcha. Okay, cool.
which includes myself.
Excellent.
Yeah.
All right, so we'll play that to finish up tonight. Ryan and Franz, thank you so much. I got your first name right. Didn't I?
Perfect.
Yes,
Yes.
got it.
I did.
Perfect.
All right. Guys, thank
So
you.
you can dub that in through the whole show, right?
This has been great. Maybe I will. Maybe I will. No, I won't. No. All right. All right. Thanks, guys. And we'll take a listen to this Ruts in the Road. And thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I pull out of Boston, rolling west. I'm looking for the New York line. Diesel tank is topped off, no need to stop off. My load is gonna be on time. I'm jamming my gears, I'm riding my fears. It's a truck driving life for me. Always on the road, hauling my load, making my ruts in the road. It's a tough life, trucking all night, riding all these roads alone. Hacking those miles on, listening to truck songs, missing the one of my home. Then I hear that CB squawking at me, breaker, breaker, 19. That's when I know I'll never outgrow making my ruts in the road. A lifetime of driving, barely surviving, trying to make ends meet. Mile markers fly by under a lonely sky, promises I have to keep. When I think I see it's the end of the line, I put it into overdrive. Can't be driving slow, so many miles to go, making my ruts in the road. I can't be driving slow, so many miles to go, making my ruts in the road, making my ruts in the road, making my ruts in the road.
IPMNation.com.